Hello everyone, my name is Canvas and in this video I rank every track in Forza Motorsport from worst to best. I'm gonna be doing it based on the longest configuration of each circuit to stay consistent. I tested every track in my favorite car, the Ferrari Enzo, because it being a high-end road car is a good middle ground for the cars this game has to offer, making it ideal for the purposes of this video. Bear in mind that this is all just my opinion. If you think differently, I would love to read your rankings in the comments. Without any further ado, let's start the list with 29th and last place, Eagle Rock. It's one of 6 fictional racetracks in the game, and it would be great for some oval racing, but now I'm looking at the longer club circuit with that awkward chicane on the back straight. It doesn't have a great rhythm, and for me it ruins an otherwise awesome track. So much so that I put it in last place, but in fairness, we have a pretty good lineup, so being around the bottom of the list is not that much of a shame. Moving on to second to last place, we have Grand Oak Raceway. This one already has a better flow, but every corner feels a bit off for me. It's full of sweeping turns, which I don't like, because it's difficult to find the ideal line through them, and the only other corner it has is the 90-degree left-hander, which is so incredibly wide that I'm running into the same problem, so overall I'm not a fan of this place. Next on the list is Hakone. It's really similar to the previous one with its wide and sweeping corners, just a bit better put together overall. It has 2 decently long straights, providing overtaking opportunities, which is a positive change from Grand Oak. The futuristic visuals also help to create a better atmosphere. Number 26 is a controversial one with Fujimi Kaido. It was introduced back in Forza Motorsport 4 and immediately became a fan favorite. It came back just recently to the latest motorsport game and people just love it. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for street courses, I just came to realize that I hate hairpins. They're great for drifting, but for regular driving I just simply don't like them. Thankfully, the 100 plus corners do offer some variety. There are sections with a fair bit of elevation change which I enjoy, and another bonus is the scenery, with the South Park mountain in the background and trees lining the road everywhere, so I'm fine with this venue all things considered. At number 25 we have the first real racetrack at Lime Rock Park. It's a short track with only 6 corners, mostly being mid-speed. It's quite fun to lap around here, but with only 6 turns it gets monotonous quite quickly. The main straight is decent for what it is, however you do need some creativity to overtake here, but I guess that's
short track racing.
At number 24 we have yet another venue which is great for hosting oval races, but has a slightly subpar road course at Indianapolis. Generally, the midsection of ovals is perfectly flat, making for a boring base, but at Indy, the layout itself is actually quite enjoyable. It has some technical sections with 2 long straightaways leading to 90-degree corners, which is great for overtaking, and in general this place supports racing quite a bit, which is always a big positive for me. Next up is Mugello in 23rd place. Our first visit to Europe leads us to an iconic track, however it's most suitable for bikes instead of cars, with its stretched out mid-speed corners and gravel traps next to the road. As you've seen earlier, this isn't really my style, but Mugello executes the concept better than some others, earning its place ahead of me. At 22nd place we reached the 5th out of the 6 fictional tracks in Maple Valley. The signature maple trees next to the road elevate the atmosphere quite a bit, but it's very similar to Mugello for the most part. What puts it ahead of that is the incredibly long first corner, where I'm always surprised just how much speed I can carry through there, and also the last game, which is just downright scary. Just outside the top 20 is Barcelona. It's known for its variety of corners, including the very fast turn 3 and the corner of crime and death. The last sector used to be its weakness over the years, but recently they removed that awkward chicane from there, making place for 2 very fast corners, and now it became my favorite part of the track. We reached the top 20 with Sebring, legendary American circuit with great history in endurance racing. The fast and wide turn 1 makes for a great start, continued with the hard braking zone into turn 2, which helps with overtaking. Later we have multiple sections similar to these, so the circuit is great for racing all things considered, but worth its rating for me is the last corner. It's a bit like 2 corners morphed into one, on a bumpy surface with a braking zone that also involves turning, making it very difficult to finish an otherwise perfect lap nicely. Next up in 19th is Mid-Ohio. I've never driven on it in any game before Forza Motorsport, and I got a pretty good first impression of it here. It has one very long straightaway with a difficult braking zone leading to an uphill section, where the tight and twisty part of the track begins. I'm generally a fan of technical sections like these, but I just couldn't really get the hang of it here yet. Number 18 is Homestead, Miami, and with that another road course inside an oval. With multiple long braking zones, it usually makes for exciting races, and I enjoy the slower, more technical sections, as well as the fast kings throughout the track, some of which being ideal spots for receiving track limit penalties. In 17th place we have Kialami, our only African venue. It's a challenging track with sharp corners and quite a bit of elevation change. It's the entry into turn 10 that I have a particularly hard time with. There are not a lot of runoff areas, rather gravel tracks, so mistakes can be costly here, but it's a challenge I enjoy. 16th place goes to the Hockenheim Ring, a traditional track with lots of overtaking opportunities, the main one being the hairpin after the long curved straight. Where it falls short for me is the last sector, especially the last two corners, which are very close to each other but just not close enough to treat them as one, leading to a weird rhythm with the steering. For number 15 we travel to Virginia. It's an interesting venue with many different types of corners. In the first half of it, we have a nicely flowing section of quick direction changes, and in the second half, we have one of the longest straightaways in the entire game, leading to a very tricky braking zone because it suddenly goes uphill and turns to the left before switching to the right, allowing for close battles since both the inside and the outside lines are viable options. Next up is Road Atlanta. It starts off with an interesting turn 1. It is difficult to go side by side, but possible if you look out for each other. Later on, we have multiple straights leading into 90-degree corners, creating great passing opportunities. The circuit ends with a fun downhill right kink, which is hard to master. Next up is Brands Hatch. It starts with Paddock Hill Bend, or the corner of death as I like to call it, since it's very challenging, and the gravel trap is right there on the outside to punish you if you make a mistake. In the middle of the circuit, we have the longest straight, followed by my personal favorite part, this high-speed right-hander, which then leads to several mid-speed corners all the way to the end of the lap, where mistakes are also costly. 12th on the list is Watkins Glen. Long, sweeping corners are the name of the game here. The only real exception, which is also my favorite part, is the bus-stop chicane. I just love these kind of corner combinations, where you really attack the curbs and carry through a lot of speed. The reason it didn't make the top 10 is the lack of variety, because it lacks slower, more technical sections. Just outside the top 10 is Bathurst, a track with two distinct personalities. A long straight leads to the hill in the midsection, which is tight and twisty, often right between concrete walls, leaving no room for error. Everything flows nicely here, especially when it starts going downhill. After the left hairpin, the theme changes completely and it turns into Australian Monza with long straights dissected with slow corners. I especially like the left-right combination after the longest braking zone of the circuit. Where it falls short is this generally fast section, because I find these long straights a bit boring lap after lap. We reached the top 10 with Le Mans, one of, if not the most famous racetrack of all time. It kicks off strong with the Dunlop chicane, and soon after that, we reach what this place is mostly known for, a series of extremely long straightaways, where you are constantly traveling near the top speed of your car, whatever that might be. Just like with Bathurst previously, this is my main problem here, these sections are not particularly exciting. It's a shame because the last sector of this track is amazing. After the slow and technical Indianapolis corners come the long and sweeping Porsche curves, and then it's finished off with a pair of chicanes, making for what would be a phenomenal racetrack just by itself. Number 9 is Silverstone, the birthplace of Formula 1. It went through a lot of changes over the years, and in its current form, is still one of the best. The only real downside for me is the awfully slow section in the first sector. Other than that, I don't have much to complain about. The most famous part is obviously the Maggots-Beckett's Chapel combination, and I also have a sweet spot for Props and Stowe, the two fast right-handers that surround them. At 8th place, we have Suzuka, another legendary circuit, most known for the S's in the first sector. The angle and spacing of them is basically perfect, making for a very enjoyable combination. Later on we have some great variety, going from a really slow hairpin to the high-speed spoon corner, which is incredibly hard to master. I'm still searching for the right approach after years of trying. Then the famous 130R leads to the chicane, which undoubtedly is the best overtaking opportunity of the circuit. Continuing the theme of historical Grand Prix locations, we have Spa in 7th place. The Eau Rouge Radion sequence is very iconic, with its high-speed compression going up the hill, leading into a long straight, ending in some quick direction changes, which are ideal for going side by side. The rest of the track continues to be great for racing with its width and good rhythm, especially towards the end with a long high-speed section leading into a chicane, ideal for subtle dive bumps. Going back to the US, we have Laguna Seca. It provides a unique landscape as well as a charming layout. The double apex unshifty hairpin after the start is a great passing zone with its long braking area, and after that, we have what I think is a perfectly timed section of 90-degree corners. Turn 6 is a bit deceiving, looks faster than it actually is, and if you put the outside wheels on the sand, it's really difficult to come back from it. After that, however, comes the legendary corkscrew, which is a unique downhill chicane leading to a painstakingly long left-hander. You have to slow down a lot for the last corner, creating opportunities for optimistic moves. We reached the top 5 with Daytona, a track famous for both its oval and road course variation, but is the road course we are ranking today. Unlike most places like this, I find it to have some character despite the lack of elevation change. The entry into the slow right turn after the kink is especially challenging, but rewarding when you get it right. During the oval section, we meet what I praised already back at Watkins Glen, the bus stop chicane. After that, it's a long flat out run to the end of the lap. All the way up in 4th place, we have Sunset Peninsula, by far the highest ranked fictional track. It was present in every Forza Motorsport title during the Xbox 360 era, and after many years, it came back in this game. Back in the day it wasn't among my favorites, but trying it again in the modern day, somehow I fell in love with it. From the high-speed turn 1, through the chicane, which can be turned into a straight using the curbs, to the turn connecting it to the oval bit, it has a bit of everything and makes for an all-round very enjoyable racetrack. On the bottom step of the podium is Road America. It's high speed and wide, perfect for racing wheel to wheel. On previous tracks, I mentioned having multiple long straights as a negative, but this is the venue that utilizes them the best in my opinion, either by throwing in elevation changes or being placed between prime overtaking opportunities. My favorite part has to be the incredibly long right turn, which took some time for me to master, but it's very satisfying to get it right. The last turn is still a bit of a headache to be honest, but I'm working on it. Just missing out on the top spot is Yas Marina. It's definitely controversial to place it so high, but it has always been one of my favorites. The backdrop sets a nice mood with the modern facilities, and the track layout itself delivers as well. We have the hairpin where nothing ever went wrong, leading to two straights dissected by a particularly slow chicane, perfect for back and forth fights. The last sector starts reasonably fast and goes into a sequence of more technical corners, going under the hotel, getting close to the guardrails, and finishing with two right turns where you really have to watch out to stay within track limit. I like every part of this track, however I preferred it the way it was before the 2021 renovations, which is why it didn't get first place. And the winner is, unsurprisingly, the Nürburgring. It's known as the longest, most dangerous, and most iconic racetrack of the world. Even though I was never a die-hard fan, I couldn't give the win to anything else. In this video, I was ranking everything based on their longest layout, which in this case means getting 2 for the price of 1, because here is the combination of the GP circuit and the old school Nordschleife. So after a similar experience to any modern Grand Prix track, you join what would be similar to a street circuit. It's narrow, it's technical, the barriers are close, leaving no room for error. Despite all of these, there are many high-speed sections where you need 100% concentration to stay on the road because elevation changes and bumps are often thrown into the mix. Combining these with its exceptional length, it's easily the most challenging circuit within the game and outside of it as well, which makes it ever so satisfying to complete the impossible, that being a perfect lap. And there you have it, every track ranked in Forza Motorsport. Feel free to write down your own list in the comments below, I would love to read through them. That's it for this video, don't forget to press the like button if you enjoyed it and subscribe to see more. Goodbye for now.